بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا محمد وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين، واللعنة الدائمة الأبدية على أعدائهم أجمعين إلى قيام يوم الدين. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. السلام عليكم my beloved ones ورحمة الله وبركاته. So yesterday we were discussing about the sa'i between Safa and Marwa. What I realize that it's time to just give you more information about the sa'i. Why the ulamas they have this difference about the sa'i? It's not the ulama of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salatu wasalam. It's there are several, maybe a lot of ulamas or scholars or muftis from Ahlul Sunnah, our Sunni fellows. They do not allow the sa'i in the new area. So it's not a Shia issue or a Sunni issue. It's just like Islamic perspective. And it's a fiqh issue. And people, we respect those people who allow, those people who don't allow. We respect everybody, but we tell everybody, follow your responsibility. If you are following a Sunni mufti who is allowing, that's fine. Who's not allowing, then you follow the one who's not allowing. The Shia also, if you follow say the Sistani Damadullah is not allowing, so you have to try that old mas'ah, how you can go. But if there's going to be a problem and complications, then just do that routing kind of thing, that give your start from the Safa, like this is the Mount Safa, start from here. Once you come to the barricade, you just go right, okay, or you start just like this all the way, and moving on the right side of Safa. And then when you come to the, like for example, you are starting, you move right side of the Safa. When you come to the Marwa, you maneuver back. So this is sufficient for Sayyidi Sistani, but Sayyidi Sistani does not allow starting from the blank behind and arriving to the blank behind. So the Sunnis, they have the same issue. They have differences, huge differences. Some of them, like they mentioned about Ibn Taymiyyah, you can look into their websites that he said that if somebody intentionally, deliberately does not do sa'i, not Shia Sunni, does not do sa'i in the area and does it outside of that area, then kill him. This this much fatwas I was looking at the now I don't know. I mean, these were all like websites that are talking and arguing about the new mas'ah from our Sunni fellows perspective as well. So it's available on the YouTube, on the Mullah Google, Mullah ChatGPT, all the mullahs you can ask. But school of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salatu wasalam, they have a very precise thing about the, is it between the mountains or not? So fatwa is the sa'i should be in between the mountains, like Ahlul Sunnah. The question in the school of Ahlul Bayt, is the new mas'ah between the mountains or not? It's away from the mountain, in a way that where you are going to start from blank behind and not Safa behind you. It is not going to be between the two mountains. So let me show you a few things I discovered. First of all, there's a unique video I want to show you. The Sa'i before 100 years, there was no structure. It was just on the road. It was, people will go like they're going in the market between buildings, and then, oh, there's like a masjid and or arch, that is Marwa arch. And then they come back in the market, shopping area, this and that, and then they will see the three arch. Oh, this is, so they go in the arch and they go on the mountain, literally on the stones and rocks, okay, or at least come close to that, where there were step cases, because they don't have to also go on the mountain. So there are stairs, and then after that the mountain starts. So let me just see if I can have that video available. Okay, yep, there you go. It's a very unique thing I found, like about 100 or 100 years old video, subhanallah. Okay, so you can see it's black and white. So these people, uh, they are coming towards where? It's market. It's just like people going with their baskets and this and that and shopping and carrying. This is on the stretcher. Those people who could not walk. Okay, this is where it starts. Let me just go back to this beginning. So these three arches, as you can see, There's no masjid, there's no structure masjid type like nowadays. So you can see there's some staircases, and then behind this structure, the all mountains, Mount Safa. Okay. So this area is Mount Safa with this in the, so they come here, they go on the steps and they return. And then when there are these green tube lights or green lights where you mustahab to run. So you'll see these people, they are walking and then suddenly they'll start running. Because even our Sunni fellows, they have the same fatwa. So here they will start running once they come to that istiwana, the pillar of running. And we'll see while they are going back, you will see the running. And this entrance is Masjid al-Haram. This is where you enter Masjid al-Haram, where the woman she was in period, she cannot go. So here is the running. So this is like, now here see they start jogging. They're jogging. You saw that they were jogging like, and here also this guy is jogging, and some of them are walking normally, and these are jogging. I mean, that running, like hit and run kind of situation. Hit and run. So now you have these green pillars. Before they had this the type of minarets to beside they would go. Subhanallah, where are we now and where are they? And things have changed. So this was outside of the structure of Masjid Haram. So here they come to this arch. They're going inside arch, and some are coming out of that arch. So this is something which is a very unique thing I found last night. I was exploring Safa and Marwa, and I wanted to see. Um, so let me just go back and yeah. So some of the website where the Sunni fellows, they have this. I can show you. You can search it. It's an opinion. People, they have different opinions. So even our Sunni fellows, they have different opinions. Like for example, this website, if you go, they are telling that al-mas'a sahih, the correct mas'a is the one which was defined by the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So this is where they made this area extended. So before the sa'i was until this, then they extended until here. So this whole area got until here, this whole area. So this is not sa'i area. This was just extension exit. So they brought it until here. So all these line are the sa'i al-jadid, mas'a al-jadid. And they also show this. Remember one of the ulamas, our ulamas, they say Sheikh al-Fayyad. Sheikh al-Fayyad said that what you see actually, the Mount Safa, it's not mount, it's a hill. Mountain is something big. You see, this ijtihadat of understanding the terminologies. So he says that the mount means mount. What we see now is the hill of Safa. So that means before the construction of Masjid Haram and all these buildings they started to build, this is Safa, and this is the mountain of Jabal Abi Qubais, part of it. And now on the mount of Jabal Abi Qubais, there are some government buildings and authorities buildings here. Okay. And this is on the top of the mountain. You can see the rocks. You can see the rocks and the stones, and it is on height. So this is Safa. They said this was connected all. They chipped off this pathway, okay, in between these two mountains. So Sheikh al-Fayyad considers this whole area was mount. So this new area, eh, because this was all connected here. So this new area is actually between the mountain which was chipped away. Now this image you saw here, you see this area pathway they made. Now these, why are these lofty walls? Because there's mountain behind it. They cannot break it. So they built these governmental buildings or royal places on the top of the mountain area, on the top. So this was all like mountain connected to the Mount Jabal Abi Qubais, the famous. So here he says that the Imam Shafi'i, Imam of Ahl Sunnah, he says if somebody did sa'i beyond the Suq al Attarin, that means here there was a market of the perfume sellers. So it's beyond the perfume sellers, then his sa'i will not be sufficient. Lam yajuz. Okay, and that was the market was connected to the old wall. This is the old wall, and now the new wall is all the way here. So this is Imam Shafi'i, one of the Imam of Madhab al-Arba'a, and then they have also the so this is like some of the our Sunni fellows website. They are indicating that this is the right this is the old image. This is the old image where Marwa was here, and you see that rock. This is what Sheikh Al Fayyad says, that they chipped off this area to make a pathway in between this mountain area. So Mount Safa was chipped off to make this passage. This is a rock. And then this is after the new Mas'a, which is they say it is not permissible. So do sigh on that. Oh, this image is opposite. Sorry. So Safa is starts from here. Sorry. Yeah. So even Marwa was also see connected to the mountain. There are two mountains. Safa was connected to one mountain. Marwa was. So Mount Safa, that means mountain is something big, not a small. So see, even Marwa, we have a rocky area here on the top. So this was connected once upon a time. They chipped this area to disconnect Marwa from here. Now, if you can see this is the old Safa, which is adjacent to the Masjid al-Haram. This is Kaaba here. And this is the wall. Remember the lofty wall? So you see this area is built on the top of the mountain. The mountain has been flattened, and so this was connected together with Safa. This is Sheikh Al Fayyad opinion. He considers this the new area which was built. See this new area which was built, it was behind. This whole area was chipped. Okay, that there was this was all connected with this area on the top. So this is something which I just wanted to bring your. These are the signatures of the Sunni scholars who have not allowed the sa'i from this area. So this is something which it is good to know that it's not only Shias they're against. Even there are Sunni scholars they're against, and some Shias like Sheikh Al Fayyad is with. So the Shia scholars, they have two different opinion. Sunni scholars, they have two different opinions. That's what I wanted to mention. But that's why we say follow your marja, because your marja is your authority in the school of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salatu wasalam. And this is another image. I have this. I will share you another video. Okay. So yeah, and then we will start our lesson. So basically, let me share this video also. This old video. This is the time when I was young, 9 years old, 8 years old. I used to see like this structure of the Holy Kaaba. So if you can see here, this is this is the movie. Now what I want you to indicate here is a few things. So basically, this is Maqam Ibrahim. Okay. And this is Hajar al-Aswad. So basically Mount Safa is when you stretch a line with Hajar al-Aswad. This corner, this is Mount Safa. So let's see if the camera brings all the way to this side. And this is Hajar Ismail. Okay. And yeah, they're all mountains, and these houses are built upon mountains. This is Hajar Ismail. So basically this is the spot. In this corner, you can see that there was. It's nice to show you images. I found a lot of images. Now, these images, some of them might be copyrighted, so this video might not last long. So just enjoy watching it. So let me just go to the slides, which I have it here. Okay, and let me just share you the slide. Yeah. if we go to the slideshow, okay, and we go here. So, so this is Safa, and this is a Google Map image. Now, this is like, you can see these are the royal court, royal families, they come and they stay here. So it's a governmental, and you see the this narrow pathway. So Sheikh Al Fayyad says this was all connected based on the historical testimonies, and and they chipped off this. So this new mas'ah, which is this, okay. So that means when you start the new mas'ah, the Safa was extended all the way to this mountain area. You see these are all built on mountain areas. These are all rocks. That's when I showed you from sideways. There is like dam wall. Okay, it is like a wall covering all the stones, rocky area, and on that rocky area, these palaces of royal family are built. So let me just go and give you some historical thing. First of all, the fatwa of Agha Sistani Damadullah, he says, if the mountains are not if the mountains were not extended sideways to include the new area, and the sa'i from Safa and Marwa was not could not be done in the old area, uh, للمنع من ذلك, due to the prohibitions, then the person who's performing the manasik starts the sa'i from Safa, then he goes all the way to the right hand side to the new area, Mamar al Jadid. ويجتازه إلى نهايته, and once he goes all the way end, يتجه يسارا إلى المروة. Remember the curve we mentioned? Then he goes to Marwa. This is if he is not able to do the sa'i in the original area due to the prohibition. فبعد ذلك فيعد ذلك شوطه. That will be considered his round, which he started from Safa and ended Marwa. So he began from Safa, though he made a curve where Safa was not in his back, but he started from Safa and he ended. And remember, there were buildings, people, they would go here and there and until they reach Marwa. So the Safa and Marwa, they were like a market in between, buildings in between. So they were not like then they started making a straight route in between that area. Um, and then it will not be any problematic that his walk was not between the two valley, okay, in the valley between the mountains, Mount Marwa, Mount Safa, there's a valley between them. So no need to go all the way in the valley, as long as you start and you give your back to Marwa, Safa, and when you end, you give your back to Marwa. That if you're not able to do in the original area, it will be sufficient. Yeah. And after that, the Marwa is normal. Then again, second, third round, fourth round, all these rounds, he can do it. And he says, وَيَجْزِيهِ inshaAllah. And that will be sufficient for him. So for Sayyidi Sistani followers, if they cannot, that's not a problem. Sheikh Al Fayyad has no problem at all. So let's try to understand Sheikh Al Fayyad. So this is Safa. This Mount Safa, you see, is like maybe 5 meters high or something like that. That's not even a mount, unless if we include the bottom area, like add 5 more meters, there is 10 meters, 10, 15 meters. So 10, 15 meters is not a mountain, it's a hill. So Sheikh Al Fayyad says when they say Jabal Safa, Jabal Marwa, it has to be a Jabal. Okay. So, and Marwa, you see, this is not a mountain. This is like a tip of. So they say it is like a nose of Mount Safa is a nose of Mount Jabal Abi Qubays. Jabal Abi Qubays is huge. So in relative, there has to be significant amount of mountain area. So now this is Maqam Ibrahim. Okay. This is Maqam Ibrahim those days. and this is Hajar Ismail here. So the Safa is all the way in this corner. So you can follow my cursor all the way in this corner. So you see there's all chain of mountains. This is an old image about maybe like 100 years, okay, in the time of Ottomani time or pre-Ottomani time, in the Ottomani time, in the end of Ottomani time. And then this is another image which shows you exactly, this is the Hajar Ismail, uh, this is Mustajar, this corner is Hajj al-Aswad. And see, if you just go straight, this is Mount Safa's this is Jabal Abi Qubais, and you come down and down and down. So there's this Mount Safa, which nowadays they chipped it to make a pathway. So this minaret is the corner which is parallel to Hajj al-Aswad. If you go behind it, so these houses are built on mountain. So that means there were some houses built on behind of Mount Safa and all connected the mountain. There's another same image because it's the one image, but they have made like some color effect. So this is more clearer. So this is the Safa area. You see, this is opposite, this corner of Kaaba is opposite to the corner of Safa. So this all is houses are built on Mount Safa, behind Mount Safa and Jabal Abi Qubais. This is the image they made. This shows that this is the Safa area, mount, and they're all mountains behind it. Obviously, this is just a crooked image to show that the mountains were covering that area. Um, and then we have, yeah. So this is Safa, and you see this narrow, and see, this is all built on mountain, the royal palaces. And they covered this mountain with this dam-shaped walls. These are all mountains. So just add beauty. Okay. So these are all mountain rock. So this is all connected. So this is the what Sheikh Al Fayyad says, that to him this is all like mountain area behind, and they have chipped the mountains, build these hotels are top of they start on the mountain. It's not on the ground, on the flat ground, because Makkah is all surrounded by mountains. So this is where this issue comes about. They made this walkway or pathway, and the mountain was chipped to just go around. So this is Mount Safa, this dome, and this is Marwa. And again, Marwa is a bit lesser, steeper mountain. So you can see that the houses are little bit high, but not like this. This is this way above Mount Safa. Okay. And this is a closer image which shows you, because this is Hajj al-Aswad. If you make a line all the way, then Mount Safa. So to know Mount Safa, you have to just make a line from Hajar al-Aswad all the way straight. Okay. And this area is the behind Mount area behind, and it's higher even than Mount Safa, which we see. So this is what we see is nose of Mount Safa or Jabal Abi Qubais, which is connected to Mount Safa from behind. And this is another old picture. It's an old image, aerial image, okay, where you can see this is Safa, which was under construction. And these are all mountain areas. And see this cut area, the one which was chipped, okay. This is what was Sheikh Al Fayyad was mentioning. And there are witnesses, but there are few. To say the Sistani was brought one physical witness, like who saw physically that it was connected. But then all the things are like written and documented, not eyewitness. So say the Sistani wants two trustworthy eyewitnesses. So Sheikh Ali Dehnindi brought one eyewitness. So he says, no, that's not enough for me. He does not deny and he cannot accept. Like moon sighting. If somebody saw the moon and it was trustworthy, and he was one witness. So he's not liar, he's not wrong. But I can't depend on him. He can, yes, he has to do his own. So that's why I say the Sistan is living on your satisfaction. If you're satisfied with the word of Sheikh Al Fayyad, you can go ahead. So Sheikh Al Fayyad, I'm not confirming what Sheikh Al Fayyad or what say, I'm just presenting you the thought, because many people they say, how come Sheikh Al Fayyad? Sheikh Al Fayyad is a great scholar as well. How come Sheikh Al Fayyad says this and say this Sistani? Said, Baba, these are scholars, great scholars. They have different way of looking at things from different angles. Sayyidi Sistani wants testimony. Sheikh Al Fayyad is satisfied with these testimonies, which you got in historical records, that this was one part. Okay, so it's not something that why this and why that. And even Marwa, you see behind Marwa, they are all like mountain areas. Okay, and if you go to the, yeah, this is the narrow path I showed you between Safa and with these royal places, where these are all built on mountain. These are rocks of the mountain. You can see also some areas they are not even leveled. And this is the construction site when they were starting to build new mas'a. And then this is like old mas'a once upon a. You see these arches? This is Mount Safa area. So you go inside and you climb on the mountain if you want to climb. So this is something, and so this and this side Marwa. So you see, these are markets all the way. This is the entrance to Masjid al Haram. Okay, this with big blocks. Subhanallah, this design is still there, the traditional design of Masjid Haram. So Ottoman time design. And these are all shops and buildings. These are the three arches. You see the mountain behind? So it's way higher than the mount you see nowadays. Like this arch, and then above the arch, so it's all connected. And their house built on this mount area, which we see now, built on the top, royal houses and this. So they chipped off this area behind, and whatever was left a small part. So you see these rocks. So these are some of the walls of the houses, but then you can go in between these rocks, and if you want to go climb, like those people, they have climbed. You see, they can go maneuver from in between and climb up on the top. And this is also one of the same old image, I think so, but in different. So this is the Hajar Ismail, and you can see this Maqam Ibrahim, and this part opposite to this corner is Hajar Aswad, and all the way Hajar Aswad you have this Jabal Abi Qubais. And then the Mount Safa was like Sheikh Fayyad says that the nose of the mount. So it is a mount, part of the mountain, not a hilltop, but it is like height is like a nose on your head, something like that. Same image you can see that from here. You can see this corner all the way. It's not same image. The angles are a bit different, but so yeah, in one of the geographical website of the project Makkah and Medina, Safa and Marwa are situated approximately 130 meters, 300 meters from the Kaaba distance. Safa originally connected to the hill of Abu Qubais. So it's a chain of mountain. So that means it has been chipped off to make that passway to the south, while Marwa was connected to the hill of uh, Qay'iqan. I can't say it. So it is Qu'ay, Qay'iqan, 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 to the north, facing Safa. So they both were connected. So the geographical setup indicates that Kaaba is located in the barren valley filled with hills and sand and landscape. The separation of Safa and Marwa from the other hills occurred during the first expansion of Masjid al-Haram by the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia around 1955 to 1956. So those who lived this time, okay, they can testify this connection. This expansion integrated both hills into a precincts of Masjid Haram. Between these hills lies the path of the Sa'i, the ritual walking back and forth, Safa and Marwa. Okay. And this is another image, shows the Safa three arch, but now there are buildings built. So this is like more modern than the image we saw before. This is Marwa, one arch. And again, because the sa'i is between Safa and Marwa, so usually they used to build houses and build things on Marwa. So you just come to the staircase, that's the beginning of Marwa. And then you go down back again. And this is, see, between the markets, this is like the market of the perfume sellers. So this was the sa'i between Safa and Marwa. So this side, you see this pillar? This side was the Kaaba, and this side, all this side was the perfume sellers. Okay. So if the sa'i has become more than this perfume sellers for the Sunni school of thought, then it's a problematic. They say it's beyond that, because the Sunni, they don't say about the mountain. They say the Prophet defined this mas'ah. That's what it. School of Ahlul Bayt, Salamullah alayhim, based on the hadith of Ahlul Bayt, the sa'i should be between two mountains. So our angle of looking at the permissibility of sa'i is because of the hadith narrate between mountains. Is it between mountains or not? The Sunni school of thought, especially the traditionalists of them, they say no. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam did the sa'i between Safa and Marwa in this specific place. We will do in this specific place. Okay, so so yeah, so maybe the Saudi government, they might have these geographical things, and they felt that these still the sa'i will be in between the mountain, um, but then the traditionalists, they are against the extension. And the school of thought, extension is not a problem as long as it's between the two mountains. So this is the angle of difference between school of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salatu wasalam and school of companion. School of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salatu wasalam, Sheikh al-Wahid al-Khurasani, Sheikh, all their maraja, their languages, not what was in the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because things can expand. Expansion, especially say the Sistani, is for the expansion of the terminology with the expansion of the. But then there is a limit in the Sharia. The limit in the Sharia is between two mountains. So when they expand it, is it in between two mountains or not? This is the question of argument of our Maraja in school of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam. This was the walkway. I think it was in the time of Ottoman Empire. Okay, before Saudi government, they had this sheltered area, because the sun before, as you saw, there was no sheltered area long time ago. The sun would hit them. They would People were carrying umbrellas, you see, and then uh, there is still some they carry umbrella on the sides, but here in the middle they made this shelter. And this was more recent, like it's 1366. Now we are in 14, so it's about 100 year plus. Okay, so this is the pathway of and these are market all, and it was not straight way, it was curving here and there and then going to Marwa. It was not a straight way. This is also the renovated in the time of Saudi government. The first Saudi government, they made a structure of the walkway. Like before, it was just a tarp, then it was just a shelter for certain area. Now this is a constructed area. And this image shows you the Marwa area. So for example, this is Hajj al-Aswad, this Hajj Ismail. All the way here we have Safa. You go. You see this building, this covered area which we saw. Uh, this one is this one. Okay. It goes all the way to this hilly area, you see, where the Marwa is. So Safa, this was just a walkway. So that's why it's not part of Masjid al-Haram. This is Masjid al-Haram. Then they stretched Masjid al-Haram and they connected it with Safa and Marwa, and it all became one structure. Still, it is not considered part of Masjid al-Haram because its origin was not part of Masjid al-Haram. So that's why a woman in period, she can be in this area. But this stretched it. So this is like Safa is here, and this is all the way going to Marwa here. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, this was before they marbled the entire area. This was all like mud, dirt, like gravel. This is the Marwa, Safa and Marwa. More, see this hilly area. So it was connected to this mountain with hill area. It goes all the way on the top mountain, but Marwa ends here. So this is Safa all the way here. This Hajj al Aswad brings us all the way to Safa, and then this is Marwa going towards Marwa. And this was separated. See, now they have started connecting the Safa and Marwa area with the Masjid al Haram. So these are extensions. So this construction site. So and again, this image shows you that this is Hajar al-Aswad, and this is the area of Mount Safa. You see there are mountains behind, and there are buildings on the top of the mountain, the way we saw. And this is also another image, Hajj Ismail, a Mount Safa dome, and behind that you have see this mountain, and the buildings are on the top. That means it's a connection chain connected. Again, this is another image. Let me see. This is Hijr Ismail, Hajar al-Aswad. And you see the royal palaces? This is before the royal palaces. So it was all mountain here, connected with Safa. That's Sheikh al-Fayyad. He's satisfied that Mount Safa is chipped off for that walkway which was made. So this still in the time of Saudi government and the construction of this Marwa area. So this is Safa. This, remember I showed you the construction area. First it was ground floor, and then it became like this one. This one is this one, building another floor on it, and now this one, completing the construction of it, and this one, the construction has been completed. So while they were doing this construction, they were making a passage for the construction. Some of them, they say the construction trucks and this and that, they could go and maneuver easily around Masjid al-Haram. So this, you see, there are no palaces here, the one we saw, but there's mountain. Here, there are no palaces. We see mountains. And here, it's very obvious those palaces are not there, which we saw. You see the mountain, how lofty is it? Okay. And when you see in Safa and Marwa inside, it's way down. So this is like so now we see there are palaces. So these buildings were destroyed or demolished, and the royal palaces were built on, and they covered this. You see this mountain area, they covered it, and they flattened the surface, and they built the buildings there. And this is actually a unique image, shows this is the Hajj al-Aswad, and this is the mountain area from which they took the image. So this is also proves that the Safa is connected with Jabal Abi Qubais. This is more obvious. The photo is taken from the mountain area all the way to down. And the Marwa, so this is Safa here down, and this is Marwa going all the way to this side. And here also, the Marwa is all the way this side, from Safa to Marwa, between these buildings. These are very old images going between these buildings all the way to Marwa. And this is where I said that the Sunni fellows also, they have this thing. So now our conclusion is that Sunni fellows divided. Rasulullah did in this area. We cannot go extend. Imam Shafi'i says we cannot go beyond. Ibn Taymiyyah said we cannot go beyond. So this is a path where the Sunni fellows, they say Rasulullah's and then the modern school of the development of the fatwa, they say no, we go with the expansion. There's no problem in it. So they say, yeah, Saudi government did not just build, or there are team of scholars, they have it, and they gave them approval. And anyhow, they have this difference is there between Sunni scholars that should we do here or no, can we do in the new ones. So those traditionalists, they say no, wherever Rasulullah did. And the modernists, they say no. For us in school of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salatu wasalam, the criteria is not what Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam did, because this Safa and Marwa was in between valley of Hajar alayhi salatu wasalam, when she walked between a valley. So when you are doing Safa and Marwa, we have to go back to Hajar alayhi salatu wasalam. So is this valley, okay, Safa and Marwa, is the extension which happened, is it still considered in the valley of Safa Marwa? Fine. If it's not considered, no. So where is the argument? How to prove after 100 years of being chipping and shaping all that? So they had to go and look into the historical evidences. For school of Ahlul Bayt scholars, and they have to go to the experts, universities, Saudi universities. They went to top professionals in history, geology, and all those kind of things. They got a lot of records, okay? But these records are old records. So we need, Sayyid Sistani wants be said. It's all about now satisfaction. The fatwa is there between two mountains. Sayyid Sistani wants two eyewitnesses, trustworthy. They say that yes, Safa was connected behind, okay, with this the mount behind Jabal Abi Qubais, and all these were connected. So Safa was considered a broad area, not a small tip of a hill. So Sayyid Sistani, they got one witness, eyewitness. Sayyid Sistani says no. I'm not saying it's not right or wrong. I'm saying I can't give a judgment based on one. Sheikh Al Fayyad, he got satisfied with the historical. It's all about satisfaction. Historical record, the way I showed you in the map and those kind of thing, that a pathway was made and the mountain was chipped. So this is Sheikh Al Fayyad. Some other scholars, they are like Sheikh Al Fayyad. Some scholars, they are like Sayyidi Sistani. Sheikh Wa'id Al Khurasani has another problem. He says basement you cannot. Why? Because basement is not mountain. It's considered the root of the mountain. So you have to be on the top. But the counter argument for Sheikh Wa'id al-Khurasani is no. This upper level is a new level. Before the valley in the time of Hajar alayhi salatu wasalam was down. They flattened the area, they built the area. So actually the real mountain starts from what is considered. They did not dig the valley, they built on the valley and they made flat surface. So then they made flat surface down. So still this is argument and counter argument. So Sheikh Wa'id al-Khurasani says that the satisfactory is the wheelchairer area is from the old area, and you can add 1 meter, 1.5 meter on it, according to Sheikh Ali Dehneem, my teacher, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless him. So because he did a lot of investigation, okay, and he was satisfied that you can do sa'i. But when he say this Sistani challenged him, he said, no, I got also confused and I got backed off because of the eyewitness. But every marja has his way and he takes the responsibility, and a lot of hard works is done. Those people who say maraja, no baba, a person ignorant like me cannot say marja, how do they know? Though they do a lot of research. They have team like Sheikh Ali Dehneem, Said Munil Khabbaz, and other scholars who go to experts and find out every single small big, and then the conclusions are made. It's not like he say this is not, says it's not permissible, that means out of it pocket. So the application, the fatwa is one, narrated, but the application of fatwa, is it between the mountain or not? That is where all the argument comes. So inshallah, and that's why Sayyidi Sistani said, I'm not preventing you to follow Sheikh Al-Fayyad or follow Sheikh Al-Wahid or follow anyone. If you are satisfied with their findings, just do the sa'i. You don't have to do that maneuver. You can do normal sa'i. But if you are not satisfied, the satisfied Sheikh Al-Wahid, it's not a matter of taqleed. It's some experts telling you where is the mount, where is the valley between Mount Safa and Marwa. So if you feel satisfied with Sheikh Wa'id al-Khurasani that just beside the wheelchairer, one in the range of 1 meter, 1.5 meter, do the sa'i. So Sheikh, khalas, that will be sufficient if you are satisfied. And if you are satisfied with my ihtiyat, okay, and my not giving a conclusion, then just do from the original area, or do that maneuvering if they prevent you from doing that old area. So this is something about the sa'i between Safa and Marwa. Inshallah, our next session, the reason I made this session separate, because I don't know, because these were like a lot of images and videos, they might be copyrighted. I did not know that they are copyrighted or not. You see, some of the youth, they started collecting and sending me. So anyhow, so if it's copyrighted, they might cancel the video, chip out the copyrighted material. If not, then anyone can benefit from it and understand the essence of sa'i and the way our maraja, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect them, think, and they do their work. So inshallah, after this session, we'll continue the sa'i between Safa and Marwa on the wheelchair. وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على محمد وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.